All right, hey everybody, welcome back. Another news feed here for you. This one kicking it off. The Chevy Silverado was the best-selling vehicle in 8 states in 2024, which is pretty interesting because you know that Edmunds and you know all these things and the stats we get are always fudged in the fact that they call, the F-150 the best-selling F-Series pickup for all these years running. But again, that's because Chevy and GMC consider themselves two different companies, yet they're the same exact truck. Basically, a GMC is just a Chevy in a tuxedo, made on the same lines and everything. But because they're two separate companies, Ford gets that win. But realistically, Chevy, when you take the Silverado and the Sierra, and you combine them, they blow the doors off of the F-150 every single year, hands down. But this case here, this was just about the Silverado. 8 states, the Silverado itself becomes the best-selling vehicle, not just over car or in trucks, but the best-selling vehicle. Pretty interesting. So, what are these 8 states? It says right here. According to the data reported by Edmunds, the Chevy Silverado was the #1 most popular vehicle of cars and everything in Alaska, Arizona, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia. Pretty impressive kind of states there when you look at it. You look at the diversity of these states. That's pretty unique. It's pretty interesting over the course of the 2024 year. It says here, in all 8 states where the Silverado ranked as the best-selling vehicle, the Ford F-Series, ranked the second best-selling vehicle. And again, like I said, you got to kind of take all that stuff with a grain of salt, but they do give us a map at the bottom of this that is pretty cool. We'll look at in a minute, but let's just finish this out here for you. It says during 24 states, it says notably the F-Series was #1 selling model across the U.S. during 2024 calendar year. Again, take that with a grain of salt. But it says here Tesla Y ranked 3rd, RAV4 ranked 4th, Honda CR-V ranked 5th. That's pretty impressive. The CR-V was #5 out of all of them, and the Sierra ranked 6th. Again, you take that Sierra and the Silverado, put them together, and you get 1. The Camry ranked 7th, Ram 1500, 25, and 3500 was 8th, and the Honda Civic was 9th. It blows my mind that a Honda Civic ranks 9th behind the Honda CR-V. Very interesting. Okay, some kind of neat stuff to think about. Here's our map. Let's click on this, dude. Let's bring it up. So here is your states. For example, I'm down here in Georgia, and Georgia would be a Ford F-Series. However, I can tell you, being down here, I am down here in southeast Georgia is where I am, and again, I drive 40,000 miles a year. I promise you, I see 10-to-1 Chevys for every Ford truck that I see. 10-to-1 in this area, no doubt about it. I mean, there's Chevy trucks everywhere nonstop, 10-to-1 over Ford, from what I see on the road. But you can see all these ones here that are where the Ford F-Series wins. I bet if you were taking the Colorado and a GMC, which GMC owned by itself only wins Arkansas. But if you were to take GMC and all these green, you were to combine those numbers, I bet a lot of this, again, changes color. But the Tesla Model Y, look at here. Now, here's where it gets real interesting. Here's a Toyota Tacoma. Okay, where's this color on the screen? Do you see it anywhere in here? Actually, I don't even see it. Oh, right there. It looks like that might be it right there. Is that it? I don't see that color on the screen on there. But why? Look at over here. Look at Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Nevada. You would think that this whole section right here, that's all for this Tesla Model Y, Oregon for the Toyota RAV4, you would expect that to be a lot more Tacoma up in that area. I find that very, very interesting that it's not. Here's where Tacoma is in Hawaii. I wasn't even looking down there. But I find it pretty interesting. That's pretty neat to see on this. So pretty cool chart. So here you go for your different models, where you're at, what's most popular in your state. Hope you enjoy it. We're moving on to the next one. This is one of the crazy ones. Here we go. Ready? 84-month loans on new cars hit an all-time high in Q1 2025. Okay, that's this quarter we just got out of. #1. Okay, crazy. Look at this. It says according to Edmunds, both long 84-month loans and short 48-month loans for new cars are on the rise. The middle area slowly erodes. 84 months loans are up that much, have hit an all-time high in Q1 of 2025. 19.8%, let's just call it 20%, of new car loans made in the first quarter of 2024 were for extended 84 months. I'm sorry, right now. I'm sorry, they're screwing this up here. But 20% of them made in Q1 of 2025. This should say 2025. This should say 2024. But at any rate, we're at 20%. Where in 2024, the first quarter, they were at 16%. But 84-month lease, 7-year loan on a car, 7 years of interest on that car at these insane interest rates are what people are paying right now, and 20% of them are doing it. It says right here, the 7-year car loan is gaining popularity as new car prices rise and shoppers look at monthly payment more than the car's MSRP. That's insane. It says right here, in the same term, the 48-month loan or fewer made up 10% of the loans on new cars. That is crazy. That 20% of vehicles purchased are an 84-month loan. That car will be gone, shot, garbage, destroyed well before that time is usually up if you drive any kind of miles. I said, right, and so look at the numbers here, put it into perspective. When 1 in 5 new buyers are taking on 7-year loans, it's clear how many consumers are still financially stretched. 1 in 5, that's your 20%. 1 out of 5 people is paying a 7-year auto loan. Pretty nuts when you let the reality of that sink in. Since Edmund data shows the average interest paid on new cars is also 92. So basically call it, that's the average. So $10,000 in interest. 10 grand, we're going to round it to 10. $10,000 in interest is the average it brings, okay? The average interest paid on new cars is $10,000. That could bring some welcome financial relief to new car buyers when you're talking about President Trump being allowed to make your vehicle tax be deductible. But that number alone, the power of that number, $10,000 is the average amount of interest paid. And it's on new cars. They're not talking about buying, HD trucks or full-size F-150s for $70,000. They're not talking about any of that. This is the average over everything, including Honda CR-Vs and the stuff we just talked about in the other video here in this. Where we're talking about little Honda CR-Vs and Toyota RAV4s, and we're combining everything in this. And it's coming out at 10 grand in interest on a car. Insane, just crazy. So pretty nuts to see this and what's going on here on it. So anyway, thought I'd share it with you. It's the world we live in today. So, but my advice to you, avoid a 7-year car loan as best you can. Any questions, comments, put them down below. Thanks for watching.